So I do represent Experience Kissimmee. If you've been to Kissimmee or Central Florida, can you raise your hands? It's usually everybody in the room. So you know where we're at. We are huge. We're part of the Orlando market, so only the most visited place in the country, if not the world. And you saw in some of the previous research that we are one of the top searched destinations for people traveling with disabilities and with autism. So that doesn't mean we stop there. We don't rest on our laurels. So we partnered with Autism Travel Club for our version of a DIY autism readiness. So take a little step back, a little bit about our destination and how we promote ourselves. Our current campaign tagline is the big, bold heart of Florida. So that's taking into account that we have some of the biggest, boldest attractions in the world. We've got vacation homes that are just massive, 15-bedroom things that you can't even imagine. But we also have a true heart for hospitality. You don't get to become the most popular destination on planet Earth if you don't have a heart for hospitality. So we look at that, and then we also look at a little bit of background for our organization. This is the stuff you don't see as much as part of our strategic plan. We call this one of our guiding principles. Really, it's a destination value. And it talks about inclusivity, including ensuring that we embrace everybody. So it says, we believe that every human being should be able to discover and enjoy the benefits that the destination provides without barrier, and we'll work with our partners to reflect the diversity of all communities. So maybe not something you'd expect to hear out of the state of Florida, but I assure you, people in the state of Florida are nice and welcoming, and we put that in our strategic plan to prove it. All right, accessibility. I love intersections and Venn diagrams. I'm not going to show you a Venn diagram. I will show you the word accessibility and how it is the intersection of the big, bold heart and cold, hard cash. So you probably saw Jake, heard him present the big, soft heart meets cold, hard cash. That's actually a little running joke that we formulated together. It just ties in perfectly with our campaign tagline. So that's how we look at this when we promote it to our partners, is what is the business opportunity here for you? Yes, you are in the hospitality business. Most of them understand that. Most of them want to participate in these types of initiatives because they believe in doing what's right. But some of them also have, they're capitalists. They want to know that there's money behind it also. So we try to find that intersection. And accessibility is a perfect one, especially in a politically charged state like Florida. It's really hard to argue against promoting accessibility and making your destination more accessible. So we find this a really good fit for us. And then the next intersection I like to share is action, and that's where information meets impact. So we've talked a lot about in past travelability summits, this is like my third one, I think, how there's a lack of information. So if you can solve the information and you can show that there's an impact, then it's time to take action. And so I'm going to show you how we took action when it comes to autism training. First, there's a lot of little tiny words on here, so I'm going to walk you through this. First, we attempted to build a business case with our partners. We launched an in-person demonstration training so they could really learn from somebody in the autism space who's working on this and training for businesses. And we targeted those invitations to the people that we knew had the big, bold heart already. They've worked with us on sustainability initiatives. They worked with us maybe with Wheel the World, and some of the other things that we worked on, we knew they were the low-hanging fruit, so to say. So we targeted those invitations to try to build this core group of people. We also had a limited space. We did this training over 2 sessions in our boardroom in our offices. So we couldn't have a huge pool of people that were maybe just interested in the free breakfast or free lunch. We wanted to make sure that there were people in the room that could take action, preferably people who had signing authority and could just hit the go button right away. Then we built fear of missing out. So we only gave promo codes for this initiative to the people that went to that kickoff, that in-person meeting. If you did not get to that meeting, you did not get the promo codes. So that helped encourage people to show up and to actively participate and learn more. It made sure that the people that were there were passionate and wanted to take action. And we communicated that we just had limited incentives. If you do not take advantage of this right now, you're going to miss this opportunity forever. And that included 50% discount for the annual training for the businesses that sign up. Now, we worked with Autism Travel Club. The price tag is already pretty low, so this made it even lower, like a rounding error on a balance sheet kind of low. We also offered for our contracted community partners and first responders 100% coverage for the first year for their training. So those community partners that are contracted, if you're familiar with destination marketing organizations, you realize most of us are funded by bed tax, or in Florida we call it tourist development tax. Our county says we have to use a little bit of that to support certain community organizations, like the chambers or the rodeo or these types of things. So we said, well, if we're already supporting them this way, and the county likes these, then this is an even better political move for us to show them additional support through this type of training. And then first responders, obviously, as well. We've got 2 cities and 1 county worth of different first responder agencies: fire, rescue for all 3 entities, police for all 3 entities. And then we built momentum from there. We had people sign up, and then we started to broaden that invitation pool so that we could really fill up those available seats. So we broadened that to others that would be interested and hit the requirements to make our destination autism ready through Autism Travel Club. So we hit a certain number of restaurants, certain number of hotels, that type of thing, to make sure we were not only able to promote those partners that participated, but brand the destination in a way that allowed people to know we are autism friendly. And then we've started collecting testimonials from those that have completed training and signed on so that we can use that to further promote this program. And then we ensured that there's a protection for our DMO in this program. So we're not just giving away money and people not taking advantage of the training. We worked with the Autism Travel Club to update their terms and conditions on our particular program that stipulates if the partner does not train at least 1 employee by the end of this calendar year, they forfeit the promo code, and then they will be billed the remainder of the funds. So we're not just giving away money, we're incentivizing this. There's a carrot and there's a stick. So there's hopefully some action. All right, so here's how we promoted it. We already do a lot of partner education through a series called Level Ups, where we invite those partners into our boardroom for training. We've done other accessibility topics before. I think August from Miles helped out with the website accessibility, if I remember. Yeah, so we kind of tag team on that one. So this isn't our first rodeo. People are used to this. We just built it into an existing program that we had. So we invited people to either breakfast or lunch. Again, free meal, carrot, you don't show up, $15 no-show fee, stick. We love carrots and sticks. So that was September 25th at our offices. They learned about the benefits of autism training. We invited Becky Large, the CEO of Autism Travel Club, to come down, paid for her travel. She was there, answered questions directly. She had the promo codes ready to hand out physically to people to get them to sign up. 35 attendees total. We have 1,000 partners, so drop in the bucket, but you gotta start somewhere. And then, if I recall, here's a couple of photos, so I'll describe them to you. There was an interactive component. That's what the top left photo shows, where people had to kind of interact and imagine what it would be like to be on the autism spectrum disorder when there are different videos and stuff going on. You had to listen to the instructions to try to keep up. It was just sensory overload for a lot of people. And then that's the average Joe white guy in the bottom right corner talking. So you can see it live here, you can see it virtually there. It's amazing. All right, then we had uninvited guests that showed up. I will describe this slide as well. It's 2 hurricane symbols, one named Helene, one named Milton. They really kind of, they were really unpleasant. Fortunately for us in Central Florida, we didn't get impacted too bad, except it really threw off our momentum in this program. So we've had to stretch out our enrollment period and kind of adjust some of those terms to make sure that we're hitting our milestones. But I think that's something that we all have to remember when we do these types of things. We're taking risks when we're presenting these types of things in our destination. You don't always know how accessibility is going to be received by your partners, by your stakeholders. Hurricanes don't help. But that just means we have to be flexible and adjust. So I was talking to Stuart, he's not in here before, but that's just the nature of the accessible space, right? We've got to be open to listen to feedback and adjust. We have to be open to Mother Nature and adjust when her timeline doesn't quite match up with what we want to do. So where we're at right now, we want to get our destination autism ready. We just need 1 more hotel and 2 more restaurants. Restaurants are super tricky, by the way, to get on this. That's all we need to do. So we're pushing it in all of our partner newsletters going out. We're doing everything we can to get this rolling in the destination so that hopefully by the 1st of January, we will be an autism-ready destination. I can tell you it's not perfect. We're struggling through this as well as any other destination, but I feel like the important part is that we're taking that step down the journey that has no destination. And I'm happy to share any other details, answer any questions. I don't know if I have more time. We do? All right, cool. So we can take some of that right now. 5 minutes? All right, cool. I was way faster than I was expecting. Yeah. Yes.
Want me to use the microphone?
I guess, yeah. I can come down to you. I'll do that.
Make a deal. From the audience member behind curtain number 1. So does it have an annual renewal? So you get everyone certified. Is it good for 2 years? How does that work?
Super good question. So yes, the partner would have to renew. And again, the price point is super low. So we evaluated several different options when it came to autism training, autism readiness for the destination. This one made the most sense for us because, one, those bed tax dollars can only be used for certain purposes, and there has to be a marketing component to it, some way of promoting the destination or its partners. Autism Travel Club covers that through listings on their website and through their app. The others didn't necessarily have as strong a marketing component, the ones that we looked at. The other is the price point is so low that the risk to the partner is almost negligible. In hospitality, restaurants, that's super important when you're training your staff in an industry that can have high turnover. So you're not investing so much in an employee that might not be there the next month that you're taking a hit. Instead, you're paying a couple $100s a year to enable training for your entire workforce. So the price point per employee is super low, and then they just have to renew the next year and ensure every year, yeah. So a long-winded answer because I had 5 minutes. All right. Another question over here. Coming down this way. He's got a microphone, I'm backing up. All right.
Talk a little bit more about Autism Travel Club and then what that training opportunity looks like in person.
Sure. So great question. So Autism Travel Club does not require in-person training. But we know our partners like networking opportunities, so we brought Becky in to provide that networking opportunity, that face-to-face, get to know the person behind the company before you sign up for something that's conducted online virtually through a training module. So there are interactive videos that just like any other learning management system, right? You've got videos, you've got quizzes to check your knowledge, certificate at the end. It's not like a professional certification where you're gonna have like these continuing ed credits and all that kind of stuff. Again, because we're talking about training frontline individuals that might not be there the next month. So yeah, it's online, conducted online. Partners really loved it. The ones especially that owned businesses or were in leadership positions in businesses that had a personal connection to autism were just gung-ho. And we've had good feedback so far. And it's simple to do, and it's easy things that that you wouldn't necessarily know about if you didn't take training. Like I knew next to nothing about autism, other than I could see behaviors exhibited in some, my kids' friends and that kind of thing. But like just knowing that some kids are attracted to water, and we're in Florida, there's water everywhere, and could be dangerous reptiles in the water, perhaps. So those types of things, yeah. Again, long-winded answer.
Thank you so much. I'm just curious, when you had to sort of convince your stakeholders, what were the top objections and how did you overcome them?
So, good question. So we didn't really meet a lot of objections. I think the hard part is just, I don't know, I think operationalizing the training takes a while. So that's kind of the hurdle that we're in right now. We had a few partners sign up, but they've got bigger businesses, so they've got formal processes to get this in place. So hopefully we gave them enough time to do it, and if not, then we'll learn from that and help them, guide them on operationalizing this, and I think that's where the testimonials will come into place. It's like, hey, Gatorland is on top of this. They're a big player in the space. They went through the hurdles, they jumped on, and now they're ready, and they're autism ready, according to Autism Travel Club. So I think that kind of momentum is going to help us get over that operational hurdle.
Did you see that cascading to other businesses, like if there were a chain, started in Kissimmee?
If there's a chain?
Like sorry.
Yeah.
Like let's say it was a national chain, like would they start it in Kissimmee and then tell the Los Angeles location, hey, we did this, can you do this too? Have you seen that sort of like ripple effect in corporate
We have
basis?
not. Yeah, so that's a great question. We have not, and I think that was part of the very targeted invitation list. Is we wanted to focus more on the local businesses that were not necessarily encumbered by the kind of corporate structure and the franchise model. So again, we want to build that momentum in the areas that we thought could have a quicker turn. So that was how we targeted those businesses, and then hopefully the momentum would build and do more like a grassroots from the local location up through perhaps some of the more national chains.